Alrighty. Here we go. Gonna play some Bring to Niv in Modern. So let's go through that wonderful deck talk about this great deck that I love. So this is an update using the mana base proposed by Lanny NY on the Faithless Brewing Discord and the Niv-Mizzet Discord, with some of the deck choices that I like to play. So we're playing a Birds of Paradise alongside our 4 Utopia Sprawls, and we're playing a mana base featuring 1 of each snow-covered land, only 2 Pillar of the Paruns. But we're playing a mixture of green shocklands with blue shocklands, so our Misty Rainforests get either of those. And then I've got Verdant Catacombs in here because I still like my sideboard choice of Fatal Pushes over Path to Exile in the sideboard. We've also got Rest in Peace here, so I'm going to see if we'll have some problems getting to those in our sideboard games, if it should come up. Also got Crumble to Dust instead of Boil now that we're playing more islands in the mana base. Then on top of that, I'm still playing my 1 Magus of the Moon in the main deck, still playing an Unmoored Ego here. Not entirely sure about those, gotta keep an eye on them. Also playing 2 Abrupt Decay here, so just some different choices up and down the curve. I still like 3 Niv-Mizzet and 4 Bring to Light. We'll see how that does as we go through the league. I don't ever feel like I get under niv'd, like I can't draw a Niv, but we'll see. Then we've got 4 Wrenn and 6 and 3 Teferi Time Raveler instead of those numbers the other way around. And so we're going to hop right into a league and see if we can do well with this setup. The Magus of the Moon is one of the more speculative picks in the list right now. It is something that you can bring to light for. However, Titan decks have been on a bit of a downswing, but then again, a lot of these Mystic Sanctuary nonsense decks are quite popular, so same Niv-Mizzet deck that got us our very first 5-0, as well as some wonderful, wonderful matches and games in both paper and online. We are playing Niv-Mizzet Reborn, which again is enter the battlefield. Text is you get to look at the top or reveal the top 10 cards of your library. For every 2 color pair, you get to put 1 in your hand. So you get to play lots of gold cards, which I love. Against Team Roskas MTG. Opponent taking a good long time to decide whether or not they want to play first. Gotta grab my mono red shuffling deck. Gotta keep up with the sick Moto sound effects. There we go. Pretty good opener. We got some universally good removal spells and an Astrolabe to tie the room together, so should be real good on mana here. Stomping Ground into into Misty Rainforest for Steam Fence. Gives us green, blue, and red, white. Sorry, Hallowed Fountain on the Misty Rainforest. Yep. Likely to be against some kind of Urza deck. Bring to Light is an excellent pickup for our mid-game plans. Second Bring to Light is not bad against the deck that is fairly likely to be playing some counterspells. If there's an Emery this turn, we want to fire off this Abrupt Decay on it. They shocked. Okay. Oh, so this could be Bant control instead of some kind of Urza deck, which of course it could have been from the start. So, likely to see an Ice Fang Quaddle here. Growth Spiral. Okay. So, probably some kind of Uro taking turns nonsense. Maybe Wilderness Reclamation will make an appearance. Astrolabe, sure. Wow, triple Astrolabe draw. No, their colors are fixed forever. Just gonna go ahead and use this window to get my Hallowed Fountain. This opens up my colors a little bit here. Can play the tapped Stomping Grounds this turn. This hand has really worked out poorly against a controlling deck like what we're up against, but that is sometimes the downside of playing these mid-range / control decks. Growth Spiral again. Opponent's looking to go big here. No land drop. Well, that's good news for us. Okay. Looks like this game is eventually going to be about killing my opponent. Potentially ahead of them trying to set up a better late game than what we have going on. So, just going to have to do our best to be ready for that. Again, a really unfortunate draw. Teferi anywhere along this way would have been really good. It's Factor Fiction? Oh, that's really good. Well, the Scred's not good. Scred can kill a Niv-Mizzet, but... So, I think something like this. This is fine. Someone out there in the internet land can tell me that this split is wrong, but feels pretty good. So they put the Scred and the Sanctuary into their graveyard. They've got one Sanctuary in place. There's a good chance they're playing the full 4 in their deck. Splashing red for Teamer. Yeah, there's an Uro, sure. So it seems pretty likely that we're going to have to just start firing off these Bring to Lights, and the obvious downside is they're likely playing something along the lines of Remand or what have you. Should be a better matchup post-board. We're still looking for black mana here, and I want to have double blue. I've already got double green for Uro if I need it. Woof. Well, sometimes you hit these draws. And then, in theory, I want double white. White, blue, black, red, green. Yep, so I don't need my Astrolabe even at this point if I get white. But then I could hard cast Supreme Verdict. I wonder if I'm just supposed to pass here. Probably not. So it looks like this is probably eating a remand or otherwise. The Archmage's Charm? Yeah, it could be Archmage's Charm. I would say it's good that the Archmage's Charm is not walking into, or not letting them draw two, but they're resetting Factor Fiction here. So we're just going to be buried in cards pretty soon, and they have been able to generate extra land drops, although they missed some earlier, so it's possible at some point soon we hit Teferi, but we won't be able to Teferi Bring to Light for a while yet, so we just hit a matchup that preys very well on what we're trying to do here. They can escape their Uro and still have counter magic up. So luckily for us, we have Abrupt Decay here to somewhat deal with what they've got going on. Although the downside is they've already generated a bunch of value off of it. So if they fire off a end of turn Factor Fiction here, we're just going to be well and truly buried. So we didn't come out of the gates swinging, which we needed to be with like Utopia Sprawl into Teferi or Wrenn and Six or something of that nature. Kept a reasonable hand if we were to run into something like the non-stop red decks of last night, and here we are. Yeah, I guess this is the moment where we do this, but it's going to make it pretty underwhelming. Yeah, I'm just going to concede this game. I think we're way too far behind, so we're not going to be able to beat the multiple Factor Fictions with this setup. Maybe that's a preemptive concede, but I think I feel pretty comfortable with it. So Mystical Dispute, Crumble to Dust for their Mystic Sanctuary sounds pretty good. Don't think I need Supreme Verdict. Magus seems alright. Oh, sure. Thanks, Roy. Trophy seems okay, but Helix is probably not very good. Unmoored Ego on Uro is quite powerful. Kaya's Guile is probably unnecessary, although Kolaghan's Command is probably worse. I think we're good with this. See if we can out Uro the Uro deck. Oh, and Ashiok is alright here. I'll take one Ashiok. Not both, but one. It's probably slightly better than one of my Abrupt Decays? Yeah. Maybe I should be playing Rest in Peace here, although it does cut off my own graveyard, so I don't think that's worth it. I think the other ways we're attacking them are better. Yeah, that's a reasonable opener. Opponent moves to 6. Want to keep, or I want to have my basic forest. rather than fetch shocking. And then next turn we're going to have an interesting choice whether to play Wrenn and Six or Uro. Having Wrenn and Six down early against this kind of deck is really good, but if we draw a Veil of Summer or this card, then we've got even more incentive to do that. So, because now we get to keep our mana up for turn 2. I think rather than just playing up my Vista, I could... Nah, let's play up the Vista. This has more of an upside. If we want to fetch out, or if we fetch out more basics and we draw the Magus of the Moon, we get to jam that, and Magus of the Moon can screw them up decently well. They shocked at the end of turn. What does that mean? Sure. Not the greatest draw in the world. So I'm going to play a land out, fetch my basic island. Play a row. Mystical Dispute. I think that's fine. I have all the resources I need from my Uro, essentially. So let's fetch Shock. And then pick up my Misty Rainforest? Yeah. Wrenn and Six can definitely take over the game here, so that's what we're going to be looking to do. And as much as possible, look to get our Uro escaped, although with this hand it's really, really being a bit obtuse. Red mana. I don't like seeing that here. Is this Uro? Ashiok. Yeah, definitely gotta fight that. Spell? Oh, that is a spell. So I want to fire off this Misty Rainforest, but I have to fetch Shock with it. So Wrenn and Six plus Uro is giving me some interesting tension in this game, but I think let's go Bant, red, black, Niv. Let's draw some business. Force of Negation can't be used here, so should be in good shape. They scooped. Wow. Okay, what were we gonna hit? So we're going to get Teferi, Wrenn and Six, and Bring to Light, and a trophy. So yeah, we're going to hit a ton of business and just bury them, I guess. Do I want the second Ashiok? I think I still want the Magus. All right, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it and get lucky again. Been some very nutty games where one player just starts resolving card advantage, the other person's like, "Yep, done. Don't need to see any more of this." All right, we get Utopia Sprawl into turn 2 protected Wrenn and Six, so let's keep the hell out of that. So one of the strengths of the Niv-Mizzet deck is getting to play acceleration into some of the more powerful spells in Modern. So these are the hands you want to keep as much as possible. So red. And then next turn we'll play the Wrenn and Six with Mystical Dispute backup. And we're looking at a game here where Magus would be completely bonkers. If they have Ashiok for next turn, we could be in some trouble. What did they pitch? Pitching Archmage's Charm. I think we can just let that resolve, because if they have an Ashiok for next turn and they resolve the Ashiok, we're in trouble. Whereas we've got Uro, Trophy, Mystical Dispute. I don't think I need to fight over this, considering they've already 2-for-1 themselves. But if they had a Mystical Dispute, they just would have played it here. Maybe they have Veil of Summer, but I don't think that they would board in Veil of Summer against us, so I'm going to go ahead and let that resolve on the logic, on the argument that they can have a 3-mana Haymaker for next turn. Is this Snake? Snake is fine. Potential of an Ashiok or other thing that's much more dangerous next turn is problematic, so they might be land stalled. That's a possibility here. They are. Okay. So we have red-green, so I can get blue-black and then have white off the Temple Garden. I kind of want... I think I want Breeding Pool, but this deck doesn't have one. So I guess blue-black is going to have to do it, and then Temple Garden puts Sprawl here. We hope that never gets killed. Yeah. It's a good draw, though. So shock this bad Mamma Jamma. Sprawl goes here on green, red, blue, black, white. Cool. So I can put this on blue without causing any problems. And then we play Udo. We've got double blue, double green already. So that's down with the sickness. Pillar allows me to play Trophy or Dispute here. Want to save the Dispute for when we're resolving our big spells, or if we have to fight them over an Ashiok or something else terrifying. Hey, we drew exactly what we needed there. So red, blue, green, white. And we'll use this for black because I cannot use the Watery Grave to cast I can't use Pillar to cast a Mystical Dispute. Alright, so we got everything we wanted there. Bring to Light Teferi, Abrupt Decay, sick. And so that means next turn I get to resolve Teferi Time Raveler with Mystical Dispute back up again. So Seemed like a medium matchup in the first game, but we just crushed through them by resolving Niv-Mizzet 2 games in a row. Obviously, they had mana problems in the last game there, but that is the gathering of magic that we do here. Sometimes you magic, sometimes you get magicked. Against Wall of Bromans. Gonna keep this one. It's got turn 2 Teferi on the draw, and our opponent mulligans to 6, so that is exactly where we want to be. Against this super sick Ugin the Spirit Dragon. I like my Royal Scions. They're fair and balanced. Like good media coverage. Mulligans to 5. Aha, so I see. We're against Dredge or E-Tron or Ad Nauseam. Okay, so our turn 2 Teferi is busted in half against this deck. So if I if I Sprawl, can go green, blue, and then fetch white. So the easier way to do this would be to play the birds. But birds can get messed with. However, I think we're okay to play birds against Sea Crown Coast. If they path my birds on my upkeep, I'll take that hit, I guess. We'll see how this game plays out. I'm going to take a more interesting line because we have the two options and see what's up. Cycle Curate. Okay, so we're against some kind of Living End deck. As foretold, Living End with blue-white. Interesting. Okay, so I can put a white on the Sprawl and play Steam Vents or Fetch for a different color. White-green is not the best here, so... But it does mean I can play Niv-Mizzet or BTL for 5 next turn. So double acceleration in this deck is the nuts. Okay, so I'll put that on white, Shocked Steam Vents, try to cast Teferi. This resolves, it should be completely devastating. Cool. Just gonna minus to draw a card. I'm not particularly worried about my Teferi getting pinged from some kind of blue-white as foretold deck, because they can't flash anything in now. Good draw. And then we have instant speed Bring to Light next turn if they want to do any nonsense. As an argument for their side, they do have cycling cards, which are really good in the face of a Teferi. I'll be back in 1 second. Apologies, opponent. They pass priority during their main phase. Well, that is tremendous. So Teferi in play, 5-color BTL coming up that can double BTL. Okay, so for anyone who hasn't seen this interaction yet, Teferi Time Raveler allows you to play your sorceries at instant speed, including Bring to Light, which can get you all sorts of completely bonkers cards out of your deck, like Kaya's Guile or Magus of the Moon. Looks like Magus will completely lock out their mana right now. So, okay, so they did get an island. So I have red, white, green, any color from birds. So we'll see what they're up to here. I'm assuming it's going to be as foretold, which will, okay. So if they pass the turn at the end of turn here, we're going to go get a Niv-Mizzet. And the color that I want, so we've got white, green, blue, or red. So I can get black here. And do I want black, blue, or black, green? I think I want black, green. Yeah. Is that correct? I think so. Then I've got red, green. Yeah, sure. If you want blue, green, white, and we need the red. All right. Oh, hold on. I did something wrong. Green, white, black, blue. This will be red. There you go. All right. PTL, 5 colors. It's going to let me search my library, put out Niv-Mizzet, which is going to draw me more cards. Could get something else, but I think Niv is probably the best here. Shisha. Well, here's my dragon. I get a Wrenn and Six plus all these cards. Well, this is a little awkward. So we're definitely playing Wrenn and Six this turn. And I've got a Kaya's Guile in my hand, so I don't need to worry about their graveyard. Can't quite kill them this turn, but next turn I can. So we'll use the birds and the steam vent to play Wrenn and Six. Wrenn and Six pick up a land. Misty. This can get me white in a number of ways. Cool. I can't use that right now. I think we just got to go end step and discard. Cool. I think I'm going to discard Kolaghan's command. And how many more? 2 more. Astrolabe. And we've got multiple Bring to Lights. So let's discard one of my Bring to Lights. I've got a secondary Niv-Mizzet, so should be okay here. And they scoop out. Not surprising. So some kind of blue-white, probably as foretold, Living End deck. Oh, thank you for the follow, Brian. My good buddy Fuzzy Bandito hit me with a follow there. So I think this is a Helix out matchup. Helix feels very poorly positioned this evening. I think this is definitely a Rest in Peace in matchup. Which means I want to take out some number of Wrenn and Six and some number of Udo. So we've taken out 3 Helixes, 2 of those. And then maybe bring in a Ashiok, either Verdict or maybe Veil of Summers. I'm not sure if I need Veil of Summers against this deck. They didn't really do any of their thing. I think Magus can go out for Ashiok. I don't think I want it here. Maybe this is a Veil of Summer deck. I'm not sure, and I don't think I want my second Verdict either. Kolaghan's Command seems medium. Going way down on gold cards here, which kind of doesn't feel the best. Let's just bring the one Veil of Summer. This also means our win conditions are down to like just Niv-Mizzet, which is kind of sketch. But they're probably just going to scoop to our overwhelming graveyard hate, etc. Turn 2, Unmoored Ego and or Kaya's Guile. Well, that is just about exactly where we want to be. Okay, we're definitely keeping this. This can go blue on here. So we have blue-green or blue-white. So actually, maybe it should go black, because then we have black-white or black-green. And then this can fetch a blue. It doesn't actually change anything here. I suppose I can fetch. No, I can't get a basic forest with this setup. I think I want to play turn 2 Ego. So if I put this on black, I can fetch a blue red. And then I can cast Kaya's Guile and Unmoored Ego. I can't fetch blue red with this. I can fetch green. Green red. Green black. So gotta put this on blue. Yeah, okay. Okay, cool. Sometimes the colors take an extra second here to figure out, but so opponent's going to start cycling stuff here. We'll see what their deck is about. Hopefully next turn. Hopefully we're resolving this Unmoored Ego. Definitely putting them on an As Foretold Living End deck, but I don't know why it's blue-white. Oh, maybe they're light on lands here? Okay, so they need to have Mystical Dispute or Force of Negation here. Well, that's a draw. I think I'm going to fire off the Ashiok first, because that's going to eat into their... Oh, I could get black-blue with this. That means I can't cast Wrenn and Six. So I wonder if I want to play Astrolabe and then Wrenn and Six and chance them getting to flip their graveyard out. I think Unmoored Ego is the better play. It means this has to get black of some kind. Black, blue, and then black, white. Okay, so I can get my snow-covered swamp here. Got it. Cool. Sometimes the mana in this deck is even more brain melty than you think it's gonna be, but you eventually figure it out, and it's usually pretty darn good. So let's see if they have the Mystical Dispute here. Fetch. Yep. I cannot pay for that. Okay, so I get to Ashiok next turn too, so that'll be fine, hopefully. Could also just hold up Kaya's Guile. It's a pretty uncommonly played spell. Let's just see if they just jam here. If they have As Foretold, they'll just... Might have Teferi Time Raveler. If we top deck a land, it's not a problem, but could be a problem. Yeah, okay. So this has Cascade, which means they're going to flip through their deck until they hit a card with lower converted mana cost, and they only have one, which is Ardent Plea. That's not a great draw here. Go Astrolabe, draw a card, play Wrenn and Six, pick up a land. I can fetch and play another Astrolabe? Yeah, I can. Trophy's a decent pickup. So I now, in theory, can kill both their creatures. Or at least one of them. See if they decide to pick off my Wrenn and Six here. I think they will. Nope, just cracking in on me. Makes some amount of sense. So much to give. I wanna give it. Get some too. Alright. Do I need any color in particular? No, I've got double Astrolabe. I can fix anything. Stripe River Winder has hexproof. So first thing first, we're gonna have to try to kill this Windcaller Aven. So I'm gonna do that. So hopefully what happens here is something like hardcast Mystical Dispute. And then we fetch and play Kaya's Guile for you sack a creature, and I'm going to make a 1/1. Okay, so that's a tad unfortunate. Because if I want to try to kill this, I have to do it now. So this can only fetch Shocklands right now, which means I don't really have the ability to deal with this. So we're just going to get hit, which sucks. So this is going to give me a tap land at end of turn. Seeing as they don't likely have As Foretold in it, do I need red? Yes, take a red. probably don't have As Foretold in their deck. I'm going to go ahead and try to kill his Ardent Plea and maybe get them to spend something, do something about it. Oh. Guess I could draw a Supreme Verdict. Problem is, I'm too low to be able to do anything else, so... Or, not to be able to do anything else. I'm too low to fetch now. But Verdict is something. So we stay alive for now. I think. Oh! Okay, so we died. Died to failure to comply. So unlike Remand, failure to comply has the same templating as what is it called? It's not repeal. It's the other unsubstantiate. So unsubstantiate is return target spell or non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Unlike Remand, which actually has to counter the thing first. So I think being on the play should be good enough here. I wonder if I want Lightning Helix if they have to try to small ball me like that. I don't think so. I think just having more hate pieces in the main is going to be fine. It's probably better than Abrupt Decay. Maybe it's better than Abrupt Decay. Let's see if I can make that switch. It's looking like not. Sometimes I should think longer about my sideboarding choices. Okay, there we go. Because they do have 4/3s like the Windcaller, even Windcaller there. Gives me a potentially better density on my Nivs. Opponent taking their time with the sideboard. Seems really rough. Let's mulligan for acceleration plus hate. It's acceleration and no hate. I don't know if I can go lower than this though. It's like a reasonable hand. It's not great, but we got lucky last match, so maybe unlucky here. Plenty of good draws in the deck, though. I think we just set up for black green here, have Assassin's Trophy ready. We have the ability to play almost anything we draw. Turn 1 fetch. What does this mean? That is a okay draw. If we can get to this Bring to Light, we can be okay. Open mana might keep them off of trying to combo. By combo, I mean cast a single spell, and then with their deck construction, they kind of get to combo. It's also really interesting. They get to play Mystical Dispute and Failure to Comply, which both kind of skirt the converted mana cost question in interesting ways. So Mystical Dispute is essentially a 1 mana spell when it's targeting blue spells, but in terms of the actual rules, is a 3 mana spell. So black. I don't want to get a green with this. Blue, yeah. I don't have Uros in the deck right now, but I think still getting blue here is fine. Teferi is a fine draw. Teferi is a fine draw here. So Teferi turns off the Cascade mechanic, which is very important in this matchup. So hopefully we can draw a Veil of Summer or a Mystical Dispute here. If they do fire off their combo, we'll need to peel a land to Bring to Light into Spring Verdict. We'll see if they just jam here. The Veil of Summer and or Mystical Dispute could easily not be good enough against their hand, but we just gotta hope that they will be. If I hit them, Rest in Peace. That's a pretty good pickup, huh? Alright, let's try it. Oh, no, that didn't work. White. Yeah. So if they have not unsubstantiated, if they have the bounce one, they will get to play that here. Failure to Comply. I think we're in the business of just jamming here. We do get to leave 2 mana up, so they might potentially forestall their own plans. Cycle Street Wraith. That's probably promising. Maybe they're just looking for the maximum different options before they choose their counter. Sure. You got me. I was bluffing. I didn't have any way to defend that. All right. What do you got, friend? Wall of Bromans. What do you got here, friend? Got some excellent taste in Hallowed Fountains. That's for damn sure. For damn sure. Excellent. Land is pretty good. Can you just cast Teferi? Leave 2 up after the fact again. This time we actually do have the 5 mana for after the fact if they try to combo next turn. I keep saying combo. I don't really know if you describe that as a combo. How's it going there, Jash? We are in game number 3 here against what appears to be blue-white Living End. And I'm choosing not to bounce my Astrolabe here because I didn't know if I was going to hit another land. If I need to BTL next turn, I want to make sure that I don't goof my colors. Probably could have bounced my Astrolabe there, but... What the... Glass Dust Hulk. Okay. Okay. It's a card and a half. Infinite Cyclers. Does this mean they have As Foretold Living End? Because that gets through Teferi. But then my Bring to Light gets my verdict and just eats them. And they can't counter it. See Chrome Coast. Pass. That's disgusting. So this means I'm going to get to go BTL Kaya's Guile on my turn, potentially, which is great. We're going to fetch at end of turn, and we're going to fetch Steam Vents and... I don't have a Breeding Pool. Steam Vents and something. As Foretold? Yep. Cool. Yep. So I can get Steam Vents and then anything that produces green or black, which Verdant Catacombs has to get anyway. I have a basic Swamp in my deck that I'm safe to get, so let's do that. So let's go Steamy Vents. And then Swamp. Go tap this for green. Black. Make that a land. Yes. Sure. It's abundantly clear I should have bounced my Astrolabe on the previous turn, although at the end of that turn I kind of needed it. I'm going to need to filter here, but should be okay. We've turned off a good chunk of their ability to do stuff, but if they have another As Foretold into a Living End, they'll be fine. Nice thing is my opponent's archetype does have the tendency to clunk a little bit. If they didn't have a thoroughly lethal swing here, we would be able to get Niv-Mizzet and possibly swing back and kill them with Niv-Mizzet Helix. But they have a very large board here. So they're going to have to be able to combo again here. What does this mean? What do you got, nerd? What do you got, wall? What do you got, molybdenum? Yeah, so that allows them to play counter magic, so no, hold on. Blue, black. Hold on. Did something wrong. So black, green, blue, red, and then white. Cool. White, blue, black, red, green. Sure. Okay, cast Bring to Light. Getting a Verdict here. I think Verdict is the only thing to get. Yeah. Cast. Chonk. What do you got? Skadoosh. Alright. You can safely pass the turn here, so hopefully I don't have another As Foretold into Living. And although now they can play the Cascade spell, and since I didn't bring in my second Verdict, I don't have an easy out. Luckily, they don't seem to have that. I'm going to go land Teferi here. Hopefully they don't have a hard counter of some kind. I have a Hallowed Fountain I can fetch with this if I need to cast Teferi a second time. They might Brazen Borrow in response, but then I can Helix it plus Teferi bounce my Astrolabe. Ah. Well, that's amazingly good, huh? Alright. You got me. So we're going to need to draw something good, or we're going to be in big trouble. It is possible they don't have combo going on in hand, although unlikely. They still have many copies of Living Death. They exile the Striped River Winder, which is not particularly dangerous. So we're going to take a 3 damage hit from a Brazen Borrower here, which is fine. Land, like to see it. What up, Roy? We're fighting against blue-white Living End here in game the 3rd, match the 2nd. They managed to, as foretold, a Living End at me, and then We fired back with Verdict. I had a Teferi, but they were able to Brazen Borrower it, followed by a Force of Negation, which was pretty freaking sweet. Now we're just getting beat up by a Brazen Borrower. I think I'm still willing to take this hit. 2 Helixes in hand. Let's try firing one off now. Well, that's not what I wanted to draw. Should have cracked my Catacombs end of turn, I guess. Might get to see my opponents start hard casting their Curator of Mysteries and their Striped River Winders. Yeah, I think from the half tap there, seems likely they're going to start hard casting their big fatties. Maybe we could draw a Bring to Light or a Niv. Got 6 of those in total in my 39 cards. So should be able to hit one. It's been a while since I played this particular configuration of Niv-Mizzet, and not bringing in the second Verdict here was definitely a mistake. But I am happy to be playing Niv-Mizzet. This deck is an absolute blast. I draw like Wrenn and Six here. Oh! Okay. This can give me a basic, which is pretty... Just good clean mana here. So... Sultai... This is my only white. Get rid off of this one. And then I have red, white with Astrolabe. So we're going to have to have one floating here, which is not ideal, but we got one floating, so Mystical Dispute's not going to do it here. They could have Failure to Comply again. Should be okay through that. Come on, Niv. Get him. Am I on the right? Yeah, cool. Yeah, paranoid midstream sometimes that I put the wrong overlay up. Not that my overlays are particularly complicated, but ding 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 bing 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 bing. What is this? Failure? Sure. I've met failure. I'm going to play out this other land. Opponent does not know what the last card in my hand is, but that's okay. How'd the cube go, Royford? Was it playable? How's X-Mage running? Is it functional? Comply. All right, cool. So they get to name Niv-Mizzet here. Do they also have combo? That'd be frustrating. There's gonna be a Stripe River Winder or otherwise. Windcaller even. Sure. You know what's really funny about Windcaller even? 3 toughness. Doesn't mean I have no cards in hand worthy of note, but maybe we top deck. That's not a rest in peace, but it's just as good here. And Teferi Time Raveler showing up for the second time this game, and goodness gracious, oh me, oh my. That's what I wanted. Oh me, oh my. Played 1 game, then I dipped. Huh. Giving that new list a try. Well, this is my configuration of Niv-Mizzet plus Lenny and Wise mana base. That is tremendous. So Kaya's Guile can completely eat their... I think I'm just going to fire this off proactively. I don't think there's any reason to try to get cute. No, you know what? Time Raveler puts them in a complete chokehold here. Hopefully they have an As Foretold into a Living End here. Cycle, sure. Oh, cool. Well, maybe later this week I will join you guys once you sort of worked out the kinky kinks. What made you want to try the newer Niv list? I hit affiliate yesterday and I wanted an appropriate way to celebrate. I felt like, as I put in my tweet, the horse that got me here. So white, black, blue, green, red. Niv, but this time with Teferi in play. And we got a BTL. Alright, this is game. Opponent has no way out against Kaya's Guile in my hand, I don't think. So is Kaya's Guile good here? I don't know, you tell me, buddy. Okay, so I think now I'm just going to fire it off at end of turn. So let's see. Exile all cards from each person's graveyard and make a 1/1. Skadoosh. Alright. Should see the scoop there. Oh, we top deck a Ashiok afterwards. Well, that's just wavy gravy. They're on 28 cards in library, 1 minute on clock. Yeah, they're toast. Cool. So we are 2-0 here. No, they're playing blue-white. They're playing blue-white. I'm not entirely sure why. I didn't really see any white cards at all. This is your night tonight. Why try the new list over the actual list you played the time you 5-0'd? Well, that one doesn't have Uro because Uro wasn't printed. Also, it didn't have the one of Birds of Paradise and didn't have Magus of the Moon. I'm going to keep this like semi-god hand. It's kind of really gross unless we play against some of the decks in the format. Then it's awful. Okay, so this... My Wrenn and Six is probably too slow here. If we were on the play, this hand would be the nuts, but we're not. So... Live and let die. Oh, if they Blood Moon me here, it's gonna suck. Should have played the Misty Rainforest so I could Wrenn and Six on 2 even through a Blood Moon. Yeah. Didn't think about it. Was busy chatting. Maybe we get turbo punished. Let's find out. Seems likely. Tireless Tracker? Pillage? Magus. Yeah. I guess Wrenn and Six wouldn't kill the Magus, so... I mean, that's a good draw. Considering. Bone Crusher, sure. Looks like we're dying real quick. I mean, we're drawing pretty good. It's not going to be anywhere near good enough to survive this onslaught at this point, but really good. Really quite exceptionally well. So my opponent's going to have a Glory Bringer here and crack us for 10. Yep. Yeah. All right. GG go next. So Fatal Push seems okay here. Helix is alrighty. Verdict seems like a stretch. I'll keep the one Verdict. Magus out. Ego out. Kaya's Guile out probably. Do one Teferi. Just gotta be very, very aggressive about how we mulligan and set up our mana. Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe. I didn't see any restore balances in their deck, so, but we never got to Unmoored Ego them or anything. Okay, so this is like best possible opener against that deck, so yeah. All right. I am gonna get Snow Covered Forest. I can Pillar for my red next turn, so let's Sprawl for white. Sprawl for white or sprawl for blue, but Sprawl for white gives me Helix even if there's a Blood Moon. So from their side of things, the best thing they can do here is play Utopia Sprawl. Although, no, they did see a Wrenn and Six last game, so they're lucky. Yep. They have a turn 2 pillage. We're gonna be fine, but it's gonna suck. So we gotta play Pillar, red, green, Wrenn and Six. Pillage against Wrenn and Six is not the end of the world, but they get a good 2-for-1 on my Sprawl, so. But Sprawl was kind of free here. Seasoned Pyromancer, sure. Army in a can, you say? So I could Catacombs for blue, or I could just ping and Helix. I don't really want to sort of hyperextend with Utopia Sprawl. And I don't need to play the Helix at sorcery speed. Because if they play something with haste or otherwise, we can just deal with that. This is questing beast. It's gonna suck. Bloodbraid. That's really good. Depending on what they hit with it, another Pyromancer. Good golly. Alright. So I do get to save my Wrenn and Six here. And then Verdict next turn. So that ain't not bad. Yeah. So we have double white, so I just need blue here. That's not a good draw. Oh, I already had it. That's fine. Should be fine. So I'm going to split up my sprawls. It's going to feel bad if they land a Magus next turn, but then I've got all my colors anyway. Maybe set up a second blue for Uro, although I already kind of have it. So weird hand against a deck that is not super easy to play against. Plus, I'm playing a version where the mana is not quite what I'm used to, but no excuse. It just whoa, that's so good. All right, how many colors am I down to? 2, 3. Sprawl makes 4. Shoot. So I can't play Teferi this turn. Can play it next turn. I can also bring to light or Niv-Mizzet next turn, which is pretty impressive. They have Pillage. I get really messed up here, but okay. Firing off an elf real quick makes me think there's some hope for me. Good God. Warbringer? Yeep. Did I bring in the second Verdict? I feel like I didn't. I probably should have again. Yeah. Oh well. Sometimes you run into something that's just gonna run you over. Woo. Yeah, so I can Teferi, but I don't think I could draw anything that puts me in a good place. Well, if I bounce the Magus, that means I could play BTL or Niv-Mizzet, but I didn't draw any of those, so we'll just scoop out. Sometimes you just die. Alright, so wrecked by red-green Ponza Moon. Fetched badly in game 1, just really didn't have a chance after that point. And then and being on the draw in game 1 was brutal because I had the Wrenn and Six in hand to ping their Arbor Elf, but then they didn't. And then game 2, they had the Utopia Sprawl against my Wrenn and Six on the play. See if they take any mulligans here. I really want to keep this, but I probably shouldn't. I mean, they had the double Bloodbraid there too. The second one into the Magus just like completely wrecked me. That's just a tough matchup for this deck, I think. In the best of times, like you could definitely win it, but not with the starts that they had. I think even if I had made better plays in game 1, I was probably going to them that. And then game 2, they had a really sick flip. They mulled a 6. I really want to keep this, but with no fetch land, we're not going to do it. Is this better? It is barely better. No green. Hopefully opponent takes another mulligan. Okay, can I keep this? If I do, I'm bottoming Bring to Light and hoping to draw almost any green source. But without a fetch land, I don't think I can do it again. Okay. Still no fetch land, but I've got good spells here. Yeah, this seems alright. Not great, but if we draw a fetch land... No, I understand. I shipped the bad hands. I kept a good one. I mulliganed until we had a playable hand. Oh no. Basic Mountain, my oldest foe. Doesn't even have the dignity to be snow covered. What are they doing over there? It's Solarino. It's considering hitting me with that red Spell Pierce. Counter target artifact spell unless its controller pays 1. It's definitely rejected Planar Chaos card. That's not true. That's not true at all. There are lots of hands that are not powerful if you draw lands. There are some hands where it's like, oh, even if I draw lands, this hand isn't any good. Just like there are some hands that have spells and lands and they're not good enough. You play Infect, you should know that. Yeah, the 5 was good. The 5 was really good. Fiery Guile. This is probably prowess. Really don't want to see Kiln Fiend here because I don't actually have a way to... okay. That is an awesome set of plays for us to see. They got hit Light Up the Stage Mountain. So they don't necessarily have... Car wash, yeah. Do car wash. They don't necessarily have a way to turn on their light up stage again. Or if they do, they're going to have to actually spend a card just doing that. Smelt. No. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about 1 red, instant, counter target, artifact spell, unless its controller pays 1. It would be like a Planar Chaos card. They bolt me, sure. Then they play their light up the stage from exile. Yeah. We do have 3 helixes in this build, so hopefully we can draw some of them. Also really hoping they play the Soulscar Mage here, so I have something to Teferi bounce next turn. No, it's just like they were tanking when I put the Astrolabe on the stack, whereas like if they had something like Smelt, they would let it resolve, right? And then they would tank with the card draw trigger because they don't want to get Force of Negation. Wait, no, that doesn't work. I love that they put a Force into Modern, but that it just like doesn't create most of like the weird things that happen with Force in Legacy. There's some of them. Okay, so that's a good pickup because now I can stop dinging myself with my fetch lands every turn. I've taken 2 from them so far, which is less than great. My opponent has resolved 2 light up the stages for full value, so that's also not great. We gotta draw some life gain in a hurry here. We're not playing Huntmaster or Tollsmere in my sideboard. Those are other cards that were in the deck that 5-0'd. Not Huntmaster, but Tollsmere was. With the amount of mono-red prowess I've been playing recently, Tollsmere would be pretty good. I kind of want to go back to playing that card. It seems like the meta has shifted into a place where it's probably good again. Like red-green Ponza Moon and the amount of shoot. So yeah. I mean, that ain't not bad. It's gonna keep us alive. So we go tap land plus on nothing, pass the turn. Thanks to Teferi, we can go for the combat step blowout. Let's go, Kaya's Guile. Go, Kaya's Guile. Do, 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 do. Okay. Beep, 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 beep. Get out of here, nerd. I will take 1 this turn and not die. Get ye hence to a land. Kiln Fiend. It's a Spice Boy. Oh my god. Alright. I would really like to draw a Bring to Light, please. Little deck. If you could do me the biggest favor. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty good, huh? I don't know, Roy, what do you think about that one? Okay, so we're almost definitely just dead. Red, blue, yeah, okay, so we can do that, do that, do that. I don't even know if it's worth resolving this Niv-Mizzet and showing them some of the cards in our deck, but what the hell. I mean, I drew the Helix now. Thank goodness. Question mark. Niv-Mizzet is probably going into service to block this Kiln Fiend. Good God. Yeah. All right. We're just dead here. Because that's 4, 4, 2, 2. Yeah, we're already dead. No, I wanted BTL for the. Oh, you wanted. Okay, I see what happened there. Okay, so Verdict, Helix, Fatal Push, Magus out, Unmoored Ego out. Kolaghan's command is probably not the best. Can trim on Wrenn and Six because it doesn't kill like any of their creatures. I think I want one Ashiok maybe. Trim on Teferis. Maybe both Ashioks. Hitting their graveyard is not the worst thing in the world. We can trim one, Bring to Light. Or one Niv-Mizzet. Maybe just the Kolaghan's command. Nah. Oh, the birds. Yeah. All right. Squadron Devil. Yeah, that was a very, very good sequence from them. That was insane. All right. Let's do it. Let's get him. Well, this hand's god-awful. This is much better. So we will go fetch green, cast sprawl on red, and be off to the races. So let's ship Pillar? No, one of the Catacombs. Only keeping 2 lands here. They kept their 7. Of course they did. Of course they get to keep their 7 on the draw. Why wouldn't they? All right, I don't think I'm supposed to ship this Kolaghan's command. Yeah. Is Rip worth or is that too niche? So I was thinking about it. It's okay. I think bringing in the Ashioks was what we did instead of bringing in the Rest of Peace. And it's because then it doesn't hit our graveyard, because Uro is real good against their deck. It's not unbeatable by any means, but it's very good. And Wrenn and Six is also like a reasonable card. Rest in Peace definitely messes with my Niv lists a good amount, and I just need to be careful. Crash through. Sure, that's awesome. But that is not. So play Astrolabe. Actually, play this. Fetch the island or the swamp. Nah, it doesn't really matter. Pretty inconsequential amount of thinning. But if I get to fetch a tap land out of my deck, I will be a happy camper. Just looking to fetch a Niv, actually, or Bring to Light, because we get it reasonably quick here. Opponent this time tanking on my Arcum's Astrolabe trigger. They, of course, have Force of Stifle. That is just the best pickup of all time. Not actually, but pretty good. Pretty good. It's actually funny. I was watching Aspiring Spike earlier today. And so this is going to go green. No. Black. I have black-blue in my hand. So I want red or white. They could be playing Blood Moon here. They could board in Blood Moon. I don't think I'm too worried about it. No, I don't think I'm too worried about it. My colors are really good right now. That is an excellent pickup. I was watching Aspiring Spike today, and he was like telling people that he wasn't going to play Ashioks in certain matchups, and I just had a wonderful flashback of like the like almost every time I sideboard, it feels like you always say, "Is Ashiok worth bringing in here?" Which I know you're just trying to help prompt my brain on things, but it's usually not. It's and it depends on the deck that I'm playing. It depends on the deck. Like there are decks where you have like niche value. So like my opponent's deck, they have a bunch of graveyard value. Oops, that's not what I wanted. They have a bunch of graveyard value, but they don't search their deck at all. They have no fetch lands. So you definitely don't want it here. Light up the stage, really? Blood Moon. Okay. We're actually pretty well set up for this. Oh, other than the fact that this is on. Yeah. All right, so I should have fetched the basic there. I guess I don't have to do this now. Doesn't really help me much at all. I definitely screwed up into Blood Moons twice tonight, though, which I felt like I never used to do before. God, that's so tilting. I mean, my hand is fine. I guess I could BTL for 3 colors. That's a super unfortunate draw. Guess I'll play Mountain instead of playing Mountain. Man, this sucks. I kept my Abrupt Decays in. Yeah. So, got lots of outs for this Blood Moon. Yeah, Ashiok is a very strange card. It hates on multiple axes, but you can say on or along. You can be on an axis or along an axis. Morphos, sure. Spike me, sure. I wonder what the best thing I can get with BTL on 3 is. It's probably Kaya's Guile. So they went for lethal here, which is the right thing to do, I'm pretty sure. Oh, I can BTL for the Abrupt Decay. Doy. It's probably the right thing to do. And leave up my Watery Grave for Fatal Push? Light of the Stage, sure. Exile double Lavadar. Gross. So there's Swift Spear, they get to beat me up a bit. And that was a good pickup. So let's BTL red, white, green. I just need to pay a blue. Okay, so 4 colors. Here the best thing I can get here is, but it's probably just Abrupt Decay. Yeah, it is. Skadoosh. It hates along multiple axes sounds less ambiguous than it hates on multiple axes. I don't know if I agree. I think they both sound exactly as clear as one another. But, you know, my English skills are not anything to be matched against the mighty Roy the Boy Posserath and Athen. Okay. Put me to 11. You got it. Eight, sure. If they have a Bedlam Reveler as the last card in their hand, I'm going to be a little upset. Swift Spear, sure. So they could go all in with this Swift Spear and try to kill me here. Let's see how much they try to do. Yeah, so they're gonna Burst Lightning, sure. This is the last card in their hand. That's cool. So they have 3 Lavadarts in their graveyard. I think they only need to play 1 to kill me. No, they need to play at least 2. Puts me to 5, and they have a 3/4. I think if they pass priority here, I just gotta kill the Swift Spear. They did cast a second one. Good. So I'm gonna go to 4 here, but then they're on quite low resources. They do have a redraw on their lands, and they do have a Lavadart in their graveyard, but again, they could easily just top deck burn spells and kill me, but that makes that harder. So green, we can escape this next turn, so should run away with the game here with Udo. Can almost escape it this turn. If I top deck that, green, blue, blue, yeah, I can. So this gets green or blue. Oh, sorry, blue's already in play. Or sorry, green's already in play. So blue, green, green. What am I doing? Can I can't do this and keep the Fatal Push up, but it's definitely worth. They scoop? Is that why I can't? I think they scooped. Yeah, cool. Need 2 seconds and we'll get into game the 3rd here. I just want to juice up my water bottle. Alright. Is there anything else to change on play v draw? I don't think so. So there's a perfect example though of why Uro in this matchup is like definitely worth having over Rest in Peace. I think Uro slams the door hard on a lot of these games. This is a rough one. I don't think I should be keeping this, but I might. Vista Wrenn and Six makes me want to keep this against their potential Blood Moon. That makes that a kind of a dead card for them to draw, or at least considerably more dead. So I'm gonna keep this and then try to immediately start fetching in such a way that we're insulating ourselves against Blood Moon. Okay, that's a good pickup. Is it? It's alright. So if my stuff's going to become mountains anyway, we're going to fetch Shockland. No, I should have Vista'd because that can get a basic. This can get a basic too. I suppose the problem here is I need to get Wrenn and Six mana for turn 2, so doesn't. Largely speaking, it doesn't. What is this? Okay. It was a misclick is what it was. It's scary when your opponent all of a sudden manamorphoses for a color you were not prepared for. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, it was yield through this turn, not yield until end step. Well, that could be a problem. Because I wanted Steam Vents. All right. Hopefully it won't matter because it looks like we're going to get killed too fast. Because I didn't get a non-basic there, I can't possibly cast Teferi into Supreme Verdict without shocking along the way. So if they just slam a Blood Moon here and then crack me for 6, I'm dead. If they have like 2 bolts, I'm also dead. So they had a pretty great hand here, and I should have mulliganed to more interaction, I guess. They passed the turn back. Damn it. All right. Yeah. So we're kind of just screwed here. Yeah. I think I screwed this game up from the very first play. I mean, that's a really good pickup, but I don't think it's going to be enough. So play this because it's untapped if I ever kill the Blood Moon. Play the Astrolabe. This means I can, if I leave up red, I can Helix if I draw a Helix. Helix might get me through this. Can't cast that. Wrenn and Six. I just end up discarding it, so I don't need to pick up the land. I think we're just going to clunk out and die here, which is a damn shame. Oh, if I had kept up the green there, I could have trophied here, and it might literally keep me alive. Plus, they have a Blood Moon in play. Yeah, I definitely punted that too. I was talking about how I was already dead, and then I died. Cool. All right, 2 and 2. Dying to mono red prowess is the thing we do. One of the things I know that I did when I hit the 5-0 with Niv-Mizzet is we played against Dredge twice, or Dredge and Crabvine, something like that. So that was pretty good. Okay, on the play in our final round here. Playing for that burrito money. Yep. reasonable hand. I don't know if my stream is like super laggy or super delayed or something, but you are really far behind tonight. Opponent's not moldified though, so we get to look like a different deck with this opener. Well, that's a reasonable draw. Yep, Tron makes sense. I wonder if it's good Tron or bad Tron. I don't need the trophy this turn, so let's see if I can draw some different colors. Play trophy, it makes it easier to do what I want to do next turn. GQ, so they won't have Tron next turn. GQ probably means bad Tron. Stomping Grounds is fine here. Well, you seem to be closer now. Unless you were just saying we drew Astrolabe to say we drew Astrolabe, and it didn't actually reveal Urza's mind. Okay. It's probably bad Tron. Star. No, it's good Tron. Weird. Good Tron is playing Ghost Quarter. Scrying, cool. So this is normally one of this deck's worst matchups. So they have the tower in their hand. Largely, it doesn't matter which one I kill here. So I'm going to kill the non-old bordered one because old border is best border. Hi. I wasn't looking, so that might not actually be when you said it. That's a tad unfortunate. I think we go Shack, red, green, Wrenn and Six. And then I have Helix here if I want it. Stone, sure. It's pretty reasonable against my board. See if I can hit my land. Nope. That sucks so bad. We were playing so many fetches and I just didn't hit one. Okay. Everything's gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. Maybe they also didn't hit a land? Damn. Okay. So I think if we hit the Bring to Light... Well, they're going to be forced to pop the O-Stone just to kill a Wrenn and Six, so that's not too bad. I'm going to go end step here. We made it through end step, so I'm going to kill the tower. So pretty lucky to rip 2 trophies here. They float the mana. Okay. Enjoy? Guess this means you get to O-Stone at end of turn? Or they're just floating the mana to be technically correct? They are popping the O-Stone. Huh. Oh. They have a second O-Stone. I see. pretty awkward game. Yeah. No, it makes sense if they have a second O stone. Yep. Definitely something my deck can deal with. Land. Well. Wow. God, that's just so frustrating. Yep. So, Wrath is terrible here. Got it. Just need the land. Yeah. So, white, blue, red, green, black. So I can play Niv-Mizzet here. I think that's what we're doing. It's going to draw us way too many cards, but... Oh, well, at least I didn't have that problem. So this can eat their Thragtusk. We take 6, and then we should be able to stabilize from there. Of course, if they have another Dismember or what have you. Oh, or they could just not attack with the Thragtusk. I guess that's an option. I can't cast the Supreme Verdict in my hand, and I don't have a second one in the deck. But I think I'm blocking here. Maybe we can top deck an Astrolabe, or Utopia Sprawl would do it too. Good God, they don't have more. What is this Tron draw? Man, this would be so bad if I had had my mana earlier. On the flip side, this is really good if I hit the mana for the BTL, but... Okay. White, red, black, red. Okay, so I can play K-Com and Helix and live. Yeah. Yep. Opponent is at 38, of course, because that's reasonable. They can also just start playing Karns here. So, Shatter discard. Kill the Death Touch one. Taking 11, going to 4. So Helix next turn does not save us. Okay. It's been a tough league. We got an early reasonable chunk of this set, but it has fallen off the wheels. Bad here. I think that's about it. If there's something else to take out, I mean, the Karn barely mattered, right? Like we still had to top deck out of that situation. We were not alive yet. So they had Karn on top of the fact that they were already winning the game. Yeah, just that, and then again, that was on a Multu 5. Like, Just having a rough league here. It's a lot of very small mistakes leading to deaths, and then just games like that. It's something. Okay. And we have a reasonable sequence here. So we have to ego one of their Tron lands, which ain't not bad. Tron probably mulls second best of all the tiered decks in Modern, first being Omelet Titan. I don't know about that. I mean, it's possible, because they've got Power Plant and Mine in play, so I have to do Tower. Let's go get the island. They scooped? What? That was not close to over, but okay. I guess they didn't want me searching their deck? That's so strange. No, I mean, I think it's just that they didn't want me to have information for game 3. Which I guess is fair. But, yeah. Alright, so I've had all possible. We're going to try to mulligan to Utopia Sprawl into Magus, or Utopia Sprawl or Birds into Magus or Ego, or even Ashiok might be good enough. So 0 lander, so that's not going to do it. That's also not going to do it. Yeah, I think we gotta keep this one. It's unfortunate. So keep, ship the planes, ship the Brink to Light. Yeah. Those first couple hands were also just not good. Like, I wasn't shipping them just because I really want the explosive start, but because they just weren't going to be good enough. Although that's pretty alright. So we go green, blue here, and then I get turn 2 Ashiok, and then they'll already have fetched their Tron land and they'll crush me. I think that's where we're at. This does mean, though, if I draw Unmoored Ego or Magus, I can jam them. Shipped poor hands since I've drawn since you joined the stream. It is not your fault, my friend. Don't you dare blame yourself for that. Okay, that's something. And if they don't crack their map here, okay. Okay. Huh. This can't get a second forest, so I can't weave the Sprawl into this turn at all. But I could play it next turn. So this is going to go and get basic black. Yeah. So they throttled themselves off their map. That is such a strange thing to happen. And we're going to mill them. There's almost no value in not doing it. We had a tower. That's pretty alrighty. And a Sunring Titan. And Ugin the Ineffable. Ugin the Ineffable is in their deck. I guess that's a cheaper way to get some of their stuff going on. Relic, sure. Likely to see that popped pretty quick here. Okay, so Astrolabe into Wrenn and Six. Yeah, hopefully we just draw the land because I don't think they're going to let me. Oh, okay, cool. So, yeah. Yeah, a lot of them are playing Sundering Titan now. You gonna let me have my land? No, they're gonna crack their relic. That's fair. It's cool. I've got this Catacombs. All right. Shack. Stomping Grounds. Or Tomb. No, shack that. Sprawl white, and then we got our 5 and everything. 5 with all colors, even without the Astrolabe. We'll mill them again. Maybe we hit some of their good cards. Kozilek the Great Distortion. Man, their list is wild. We hit another tower. Triple power plant. Well, that was the best draw in our deck. Or right there with it. Okay. So I think we're just Niv-Mizzeting, but I guess there's a chance we don't. Oh, Crumble doesn't do what I think it does, right? Yeah, it doesn't destroy all the ones in play. I don't think Magus is worth getting here when they can't search. Oh no, but I can crumble one of their power plants, and they've already lost 2 towers. It's probably a better play than what else? Anything else I was gonna do? Yeah, let's do that. Maybe it was better to play Niv there, but I think a Stone Rain's pretty good. They Veil end of turn. Oh, they Veiled to prevent my Ashiok activation, sure. And I did play a blue card, so they did get to draw a card. Oh my god, they hit a tower. Well, I deserve to lose that. Oh my god, yeah. Yeah. I get why yeah. That was amazingly awful. Yep. I completely screwed up this game. I mean, my deck is trying. So we could hit a trophy here. Oh my god, I can't believe how badly I played this. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me tonight. So, let's get white. I already have my green and black in play. So I've got a shock again here. If I want access to the mana. Shouldn't really matter in this matchup, but we did hit a trophy. Okay, that's what we needed. Yeah. We're still in this game, but I don't understand how I screwed that up so badly. Somehow I thought they were already off Tron, and now they have it. Just super brutal. Jeez, running Karns. Yep. I mean, I have Brink to Light in my hand and Wrenn and Six to ult next turn, so like, as far as this awful state of affairs is, we're in an okay spot. The Karns are also on 3, and I still have Helixes in my deck, so I could. Okay, so I have another trophy. I have Helixes. All right, I think I'm supposed to take the gamble and Brink to Light again. So red, white, blue, green, black. Anyone watching this league, this is not how I 5-0'd my first one by playing this god awful. I will tell you that much. But Niv is a wonderful thing. There's the Helix. I guess Niv still loves me. If I had one more mana, I could Assassin's Trophy them off Tron here too. On the plus side, most of their payoffs at this point aren't good enough, and they do have to hit my Wrenn and Six with something. If they do, I'm going to be... Jesus Christ! Well, yep. Damn it. And they're just on it. They just know exactly the right targets. They're not making any misplays. They're playing super fast this whole match. It just, I don't know. I'm really upset with myself for putting us in this position. So, attack down the Karn. We're going to trophy them off Tron here. Tower. Mine. We've got a mine in play. So tower, tower, mine, mine. I can kill the mine and then ego there. I think what I'm supposed to do is ego some kind of threat that they haven't drawn yet. Oh, like Ulamog? No. Cancel. Okay, so I can definitely shock this for mana. Okay. Can Teferi bounce the Thragtusk? Still get a token, and then they get to replay it, though. I really want to trophy them off of Tron, though. Yeah, tilt off after you finish the match. Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm taking a second to try to reassess where I'm at. I've had a ton of time to finish this properly. All right, so they have one mine and one tower left in their deck. So it's, but I want them to have to tap the tower. So let's kill the mine. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can play an escape arrow probably next turn. And I could do it this turn. I guess I took them off Tron. That's probably the best play. This is blue, so blue, green, and then anything that isn't blue or green. So let's use that. Play arrow. Hit a land, of course. Okay, blue, blue, green. Escape, exile. So, better option than having to actually aggressively kill the Thragtusk here is putting in a blocker that's big enough to beat it. They've got more gas? Goodness gracious. Well, Teferi does beat that pretty well. They can't cast Ugin right now, so... And BTL is a good draw. So blue, green, white here. Alrighty, and then I can Unmoored Ego the Worm Coils, I guess. Currently, I'm leaving Thragtusk open to attack my Ashiok down, which lets them get their Tron back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can BTL for another Niv here, and then just next turn do that same sequence of play Teferi. Ego their Ulamog. Yeah, but they don't have enough mana to cast it. There's 7 mana now. Playing the second Astrolabe was the mistake there. Alright. I think we're just going to BTL again. So white, red, green, blue, black. All right. Just going to take it up on nothing because I'm going to end up discarding to hand size anyway, so it doesn't really make sense to waste more time. So we have lethal here, I think. We're going to force them to block with Thragtusk. I have 5 points of burn, 6, 7 with Wrenn and Six. No, we could just kill them here. Okay, cool. Alright. Oh, we drew even more burn? Sick. Alright. So end of the league, 3-2. So opponent's salting off a little bit because they misclicked into us winning the game there, but we also super screwed up our line where we would have locked it up, so we gave them a fighting chance on the way back. Yeah, opponent was pretty salty. How you doing, Brian? So 3-2. We had the Crumble. Up until that Crumble, it was always correct to hit their non-redundant, non-tower land in literally every other Tron game so you play out stream. Well, I wasn't thinking about the heuristic at all, you know? Yeah, well, I mean, I get it. I get why they're upset. They also played really fast. I'm sure they're quite good at it. Quite good at playing G-Tron, and they're used to just farming up the queue. So, I mean, that's something you're going to run into. What doesn't work for me anymore is I've been playing a lot more Switch. Switch is great. I've been playing, the hell's it called? Stardew Valley every day with Amara because she's stuck on lockdown. Because her grandparents coming back from the States, she has to be quarantined. Anyway, to finish wrapping up here. So, not 100% sure about some of the choices in this deck right now. Lanny wasn't playing the Kolaghan's Command. I think that's probably right. Kolaghan's Command didn't seem good today. Wrenn and Six seemed really badly positioned today, but then again, I made a bunch of misplays in games where I could, or I should have been able to win them, but I missequenced. Abrupt Decay seemed kind of medium today, so I wonder if I should, try some different things. Magus of the Moon didn't come up a single time. We got Blood Moon. I think I would want the extra snow-covered forest back in my mana base, but I'm not sure how I'm supposed to change what is in here. Maybe just add the 24th land, bite the bullet, cut one of my cute cards. And the Unmoored Ego was also generally not great today, but again, in some of the matchups we played, it wasn't going to be, so generally still love Niv-Mizzet Reborn, but I need to figure out how exactly I want to have this built. And then the sideboard felt a little all over the place today, although we beat the first green-blue control ramp teamer splash deck, so it's like, at least my sideboard was functional against that. We also played some weird matches, played against white-blue Living End, so that was nutty.